This is gonna be stupid. Contact says, when did you join Geometry Dash? I've been playing the game since around 1.8, I think, but I actually got the full game in, I think, early 2.0, so I think it was December 2015 is about when I started my account. Shiza Akaton says, anyways, what's your favorite demon? This is a really difficult question because I actually don't really enjoy a lot of other people's gameplay. Like, as douchey as that makes me seem, I know, I'm sorry. I like Dance Massacre by Heinz. That was one of my first, like, actually hard levels. It's pretty fun. It's got some stupid parts, but I don't know. Heinz gameplay is always pretty good. But yeah, I guess I don't have a good answer for that. Ark says, what's your hardest demon? My hardest demon is Rupture by Jekko. I don't know what his name is. It's the Rupture Kid level. It's that one. Oh my god! I beat it off camera sometime last year, and I never really bothered rebeating it on camera, so I don't know. I might do that eventually. Contact says, do you have a proper upload schedule? Nope. The Buka says, 1, what's your favorite level in general? That's, again, with these tough questions, I don't really play a lot of levels. I like Water Droplets by Goose. It's an 8-star. It looks really nice, got a cool song, gameplay's neat. I like Acceleration by Taman, so much so that I played it in, like, 1.4 speed on my channel. And then, like, Dance Massacre, I guess. That's a pretty good demon. I don't know. I don't really like a lot of levels. 2, what is your favorite / best GD moment? Probably when I finished my, like, only good decorated level Amica. It never got rated, but I don't really care. That's not why I made it. So yeah, it's probably that. Probably when I finish that. And 3, what color is your toothbrush? At the moment, it's like a greenish blue. Cyclone says, how old are you? I'm a grown-ass man. BL Kool-Aid says, favorite video game? I feel like it can't be anything other than Sly 2. I've played it on my channel all the way through, and it is such a good game. It's a childhood game, so there's a lot of bias. But aside from, like, the Sly series, I greatly enjoy this game called Geometry Dash. I enjoy Terraria a lot, though I haven't played with a lot of mods yet. I've mostly just played vanilla and a bit of Calamity. I enjoy my fair share of Smash Brothers and Rivals of Aether. Number 2, favorite movie / TV series. Favorite movie, that's a really good question. I'm gonna give you a little handful. I've been into lately. The Last Samurai with Tom Cruise is a pretty good movie. I've been into that one lately. The Prince of Egypt, a DreamWorks animated film. Beautiful movie, great music. Another one would be Kung Pao. It is actually a theatrical release, if I'm not mistaken. It's a 2002 movie. It's basically like a big YouTube poop of some old, like, kung fu movie. It's so funny. It's so funny. Please check it out if you can find it. TV series. I've watched The Office, the US version, like 9 times all the way through, or something ridiculous. And like, oh, The Office is for boring white people. I'm like, yeah. But I don't know. It's pretty funny. I liked Doctor Who for a while before it got bad. And Cobra Kai, which is a Netflix thing, but I've been into that as well, and that's pretty good. And 3, is there a point you want to reach in terms of skill before you quit GD, and where would that be? I'm not really that kind of guy. I don't really like beating new hard demons and like pushing myself to become more skilled. I don't really care. I just like making stuff, and I'll beat a couple levels here and there if they're fun. But I might like to beat an extreme sometime, and it'll probably be like ICDX or something, because that's probably the one I'm closest on. And by the time I ever beat that, it probably will be considered like a hard demon or something. Who knows? Icosa says stupid things. Crew says, do you want to become a variety channel or upload multiple games, but mostly GD? Yeah, I never really wanted to be a GD YouTuber. I'll take what I can get. If I can make a living on this platform, that'd be awesome. But I would prefer if my fan base watched whatever I put out and just enjoyed it for me. But I understand that's kind of shooting for the moon a little bit. Contact says, what video editor do you use? I use a program called DaVinci Resolve. It's got a free version with a ton of stuff on it, and then a paid version with a ton more stuff on it. But for the kind of edits I'm doing in my videos, I don't even need like the paid version. Like the free version has tons of stuff. And what are your computer specs? Bro, I don't know. They're alright. I'll throw it up on the screen or something. I don't know. And where did you find Geometry Dash from? So this is a really interesting story.
So I was on the school bus with my pals on the way home from school, and my friend was playing it on his phone.
No, mine is actually not as cool, if you can believe it. I used to watch like the Fine Brothers like React channel or whatever when I was younger. And I watched kids react to Geometry Dash. I think that was the first time I'd heard of it. Goldilocks says, what is your hottest take on any topic? Probably something that will get me canceled on YouTube. Yoquack says, what got you into GD? Well, like I said, the Kids React video was like my introduction, but I was like, oh wow, stereo madness. And then I started making levels, which I guess I just figured out on my own, I guess. Do you ever think you'll be as famous as Aeon Air, Tried, and others? It's bittersweet when people compare you to YouTubers that big, because like on one hand, everyone's being so optimistic. They're like, oh dude, you could be the next Aeon Air. And I'm like, I don't want to be the next Aeon Air. I'd rather be the first Howdy if it's not too much to ask. But like to answer your question, do you ever think you'll be famous? Probably not, but maybe. I would not be opposed. How did you come up with your name? I see what you did there. It kind of just started as an inside joke with a friend, and then I just decided to make it my YouTube name because my YouTube name at the time was not good. Goldilocks says, what repeat question do you have to read the most? If I skip your question, it's just because it's been covered already, but like, what's your hardest demon? How'd you find out about GD? Favorite game besides GD, stuff like that. Brodo says, when can we expect your videos to get better? I don't know. Goldilocks says, when can we expect you to sell out and play with Dream or some shit? Never. Contact says, do you have any GD friends on YouTube? Yes, actually. I have, one? Yeah, I think one. Gulta says, add 10 friends in Geometry Dash is by far the hardest achievement in the game. Don't you agree? Not really. James the Cat says, do you think you'll ever start streaming level requests? This is a good question, and I've thought about it before. Basically, what it comes down to is having enough time to stream for like an hour or two uninterrupted by something, and like setting up OBS to have like good quality or whatever. I don't know. So maybe. Goldilocks says, what is your favorite dinosaur? This is a really good question. I really like Ankylosauruses. Triceratops are very classic, but a little bit normie. Another normie pick would be Velociraptors, which, yeah, it's normie, but they're just so smart, they're so fast, they're so strong. I don't know. Apex Predator. Sharky Mantis says, what's the hardest level you've beaten? I've kind of already answered this in the form of Rupture by Jekko, but I'm including this repeat question because it just says level and not demon. But like some of the levels that I've made are kind of on par with Rupture's difficulty, in my opinion at least. Like Last Plane Out is one of my sync levels, and it's not as hard as Rupture, but you know, it's debatable. I've beaten Queen of Misery in one attempt, and that was also difficult. I've beaten my Eve layout, that's also pretty difficult. Meanwhile, Rick James is another one that's one of my best layouts in my opinion. I don't know, I've beaten a lot of hard levels, but most of them are mine. Goldilocks says, favorite conspiracy theory? This is a really good question. Let me think for a minute. Any enjoyer of conspiracy theories probably knows quite a lot about the channel Wendigoon. Oh my goodness. Just watch his conspiracy theory iceberg video. You'll know what I mean. There's some pretty great Walt Disney conspiracy theories. There's a lot of great like biblical conspiracy theories. And just like the little ones about like missing persons cases. Those can be really interesting as well. So that's a really good question. Probably something biblical. Sharky Mantis says, who's your favorite GD player? Hard to say. I don't really know any of them personally or anything, but Brian the Burger's funny. I like his thumbnails. Chaggle says, how many hot babes are in your area? 1. Dicey says, do you get them B words? Those beanuses? Yes. Aloox says, best dessert? This is such a difficult question. I've kind of got to hand it to brownies. Because, like, there's good brownies and then there's not so good brownies. But when you have the good brownies, oh, there's almost nothing that comes close. Probably brownies. Greg the Egg says, actual question, how many hours in GD? I think right now it's 3.7777 thousand. Anthony Polar says, question, will you ever try to get a rated level in GD? I wanted one for a really long time until I met some pretty mean and pretentious people in the creating community. I'm not naming any names, but they were relatively famous. I tried to share my levels around, get a bit of exposure, maybe get one rated, but they shot me down pretty quickly. I just think the level rating standards in the community are pretty unfair, and I don't really want to be a part of like that part of the community, if that makes any sense. Sharky Mantis says, do you have any big GD projects that you hope to finish? That's a good question. Huh. I wonder. Okay, next question. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I've got a few. I don't know if I'd call them big, but you know. Marshall says, what's the jankiest way that you've played GD? Terrible tablet, broken controls, etc. This is another good question. I started playing GD actually on a Kindle Fire that had like a 17 millisecond delay. Like, oh, it was so bad. It was so bad. But that was what I built my first levels on. That was what I beat my first demons on. And it was rough, but yeah, that was the jankiest way for sure. Least favorite Rob Top level song. I feel like I should have covered this in my video, but I don't think I did. I should have mentioned that. I don't dislike any of them, actually. I like all of them. but least favorite, I'm just gonna name a few and for different reasons, but Clutterfunk, the dubstep, not really my thing, but I do respect it and it does sound cool, but not really like music that I want to listen to. Polargeist, it's a little like mellow and not much going on, but it's fine, it's a good song. I mean, like Stereo Madness, it's like very simple and basic, but I think it's meant to be simple and basic, so it's hard for me to put that at the bottom. And probably Finger Dash, that's another one that's probably down there. And give us a Bible verse of your choice. This is a great series of questions. Props to Marshall. I could sit here and list my favorite verses all day long, but here's a good one. Surely it was for my benefit that I suffered such anguish, but in your love you kept me from the pit of destruction. You have put all my sins behind your back. Isaiah 38:17. Glacier says, what/who got you into content creation? It's a weird grab bag of content creators that kind of inspired me. JFJ is one of my favorite YouTubers. He's an awesome YouTuber and streamer, probably one of the nicest people on the platform for sure. He's very honest, sometimes brutally so if you're really sensitive, it's probably not the content for you. Grapefruit is another YouTuber/streamer that I watch a lot. He's just got a really chill vibe about his commentary and stuff. He's just a really cool guy. As for like GD content creators, I mean, I sometimes watch like Nepesta and Technical, and their videos are pretty funny sometimes. But yeah, I would probably say JFJ and Grapefruit. They're so cool. Go check them out. Lord X Games says, which straw is better, straight or bendable? Bendable. Garfield Lord says, do you think Garfield is the hottest conceivable thing in existence? Almost. Rainy says, have you touched grass? Yes, a few too many times, actually. Chara says, do you like Undertale? Man, I've played that for like 45 minutes. Someone got it for me for Christmas, and I was like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. And then I like never touched it after that day. I hear great things, and the soundtrack seems cool, but I can't really say. I haven't played it. What are your opinion about the state of GD at the moment? I don't know, it's fine. I'm skeptical about 2.2, not in a good way. In my humble opinion, I think 2.2 should have come out like 4 years ago or something and have been a smaller update. I think it's just going to change the game too much, but it's all optional, so who really cares? And then opinions on 4-key rhythm games. Is that like the Friday Night Funkin' ones? I don't know. That kind of gameplay doesn't really appeal to me, and I'm not very good at it, but it's fine. Sky says, what is the best day of the week? Sunday. Ikosa says, do you like Omori? I don't know. Goldilocks says, what is Omori? Amen, brother. GMD Poopman 69420 says, would you rather beat the most recent version of Slaughterhouse but in 2013 with your skill level in GD at that time without being able to leave, or beat the most recent version of Abyss of Darkness but in 2013 with your skill level at that time without being able to leave? No. Chara says, what content are you going to make in the future? I don't know, man. I like playing lots of games. I like to branch out into all sorts of things, but I'll keep GD pretty consistent for the foreseeable future. Shadow Spider says, if you could become a master of anything in life, what would you choose? Serious answer, probably like making the right decisions. But like for fun answer, let's say piano. Let's say piano. Now, do I want that bad enough to put in like decades of practice? No. But it would be cool. Defense Attorney says, would orange you juice if had life wants? Yes. Goldilocks says, did you expect the Q&A channel to play host to smooth brain shit-eating conversations? Yes, but I was hopeful that it wouldn't. Comedy says, have you beaten Calamity Master Death Mode, and if so, will you be attempting it? Wait, so if I beat it, you're asking if I would attempt it? That doesn't make sense. I don't really know what that is. I know what Calamity is. Sharky Mantis says, Cheez-It or Goldfish? This is a really good question. Cheez-Its are probably better for you, but Goldfish probably tastes better. Aloox says, what does a day in the life of Howdy look like? Well, I guess a normal day would be wake up around 9, go to work, build some shit, come home, and then like record a video or edit a video for like 6 hours straight or something like that. I don't know. And then favorite genre of music. I don't really like referring to like my music as just one genre. And I think a lot of people feel that way as well. I like alt rock, prog rock. The band Porcupine Tree is fantastic. The band Haken, fantastic. band Yes. They're awesome. And I'll occasionally enjoy some pop. The band The Strike is pretty great. I like them a lot.
I'm doing all I can, and I go to extremes just to provide you a changing scene. For you, I'm working overtime. I'm driving my rundown car like a limousine straight through the night.
And if you want to get a little heavier, I guess it's debatable whether or not it's heavy metal, but the band Fair to Midland, oh, they're so good. They're so good. But yeah, I've been into that stuff lately. Sharky Mantis says, do you live in Texas? Because saying howdy is a Texan thing. I think it's just an American thing. Aloox says, favorite Rivals of Aether character? Vanilla and or modded characters? Dude, I play everybody. Everyone's so much fun in that game. I think I have the most time played on Ori and Shovel Knight. Rano is a ton of fun if you don't play like a total douche. Clyren is a lot of fun. Claren, I hate saying that name. I can never get it right. As for modded characters, thank you for including that specification, by the way. Easily one of the most powerful modded characters I've ever used is Spectre Knight, which is like a Shovel Knight character. Dude, he's so broken. He's so broken. Meta Knight and Mario, there are good mods for that kind of translate their moves pretty well into Rivals of Aether, and it makes ladder combos so easy. They're pretty fun. There's also a pretty seamless transition for Greninja. There's a really, really good Greninja mod. A lot of the ones I enjoy are just Smash characters, because like I don't really enjoy learning entirely different movesets for like OCs or whatever. Though they are very, very cool, and if you make OCs for Rivals, you're awesome. I'm just too smooth-brained to play your character. Goldilocks says, Dream YouTube collab? As in your dream YouTube collab, not a collab with Dream. Thank you for specifying, because that sounded gross at first. This is a pretty simple answer, but probably some of my favorite YouTubers, JFJ or Grapefruit. Dicey says, opinions on Discord light mode.
I flip on light mode and I go,
And Sky says, if you had one, what is your favorite anime? Like, I would not call myself an anime fan by any stretch of the imagination, but there are a ton of shows that are really, really funny. Like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, it's so funny. It's not really that good, but it's so funny. I think the whole concept of like stands and whatever, and like how all of them are named after like a Western band or like some kind of Western song, that's so cool to me. But like, I don't know, it's not that good. Erased is pretty good. That's a pretty short show, but it's good. It's actually good. Like, they focus on making the plot interesting and not like big booba. Attack on Titan I thought was pretty good. I don't think I've seen the last part of season 4, but it's pretty good. Very solid. But to answer your question, I've got to go with JoJo. It's so stupid and so funny. If you haven't seen an anime, do not start with JoJo under any circumstances. But if you want to have a good ass time, you watch some JoJo. It's so funny. Now, if you want to like take it seriously, probably go ahead and watch it in dubbed. But if you watch it in subbed, oh, it's so much funnier. You're gonna have a great time. Just the English. The English!
get back, JoJo!
Alright, with that, I believe we've reached the end. I'm gonna call it here before it gets any worse. I've actually wanted to do Q&As for quite a while. I just didn't think that anyone would care enough to actually ask any questions, but now I'm at 2,000. I think we're at like 3,000 now, dude. I've been growing so fast. I got like 1,000 subscribers in like 48 hours. It's insane. Anyways, this was supposed to be the 2K sub special, but it might as well just be the 3K sub special because I'll probably hit that before I upload this. Anyways, thanks so much to all the people who decided to participate in this absolute cringe fest. I hope you were able to find some enjoyment in it despite the stupid questions, and goodbye forever.